Onto It's a Small World. Just a matter of
How'd you do?
That's right, you can do this inside the train. If you have little ones, make sure they're seated on your lap. If not, they should be seated away from the center open aisle.
Have fun, you guys.
Bye.
Watch out for the panther.
Right. No, you're good. You could go up. You're gonna get a hunchback.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside.
Keep your hands inside the train, please.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station, but to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there, literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting on. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station, New Orleans Square.
This is also your closest stop for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. For those of you continuing on, make sure you move all the way down the bench. Make space available for guests who want to board the train, please.
Smooth as cream.
nice one back. How's it been running for you guys? That's good. That's good, yeah.
Next stop is Toontown. Please remain seated at all times. Keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. If you have little ones, make sure they're seated on your lap. If not, they should be seated away from the center open aisle.
Oh, here we go.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids. We're now entering Splash Mountain, number 2 location. If you look real hard, you just might find it. It's where the critters are celebrating a Ripley Day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear on their fun-filled adventures. the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories.
Please be advised, Toontown's currently closed right now, but will reopen up again later this month. The Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway is open and available to ride. This is also your stop for everything Fantasyland, including the Small World, and our bobsled on classics. Please remain seated until the train comes to a full stop. For those of you continuing on, make sure you move all the way down on the bench. Make space available for guests on board the train.
Closed for purchasing or closed as in temporarily? What does it mean?
Hello everyone! Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos?
So he ran all the way over here?
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland, the small world just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. Forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Once again, please remain seated till the train comes to a full stop. For those of you continuing on, make sure you move all the way down on the bench. Make space available for guests on board the train, please.
What did you say? You said something bad? I didn't even know it. Yeah, that is not a cast member term.
Yeah, so that's why I
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Por favor, no tome fotografías con mano.
We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your travels with us and that you'll come back to ride with us again real soon. For those of you staying with us, we'll be on our way again in just a few minutes.
Please be advised, Main Street Station only has steps going down that are ramps or elevators. Please remain seated till the train comes to a full complete stop. For those of you continuing on, make sure you move all the way down the bench. Make space available for guests on board the train, please.
station.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world, the age of the dinosaurs, before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, sus brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rail. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. And we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station. New Orleans Square.
We're now arriving at New Orleans Square Station. This will be your stop for all attractions in New Orleans Square, Critter Country, Adventureland, Frontierland. And this is also going to be your closest stop for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If you need to get here, please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. Once again, please do not stand up. Please stay seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. Thank you.
Are they putting more water in it?
Well, you picked a good day to go ride for sure.
Use up those magic tickets, but unfortunately, by the time I got around to it, it started to flat.
Are you guys getting back on?
We are, yeah. Okay, bye. I'm going to be here all day, well.
The index forward.
Okay.
Will do.
Alrighty folks, at this time, if you'll be joining with us, please remain seated. We're actually going to be moving our train up a little bit so we can have our guests enter our compartment in the back. So the train will be moving, however we won't be leaving just yet. Thank you.
I would just call it a bump up.
Once again, folks, we're going to be holding at New Orleans Square Station for just a little bit longer as we adjust our train. Our train is also taking on water. These are real genuine steam engines and we take on water every other trip. In order to H2go, we do need that H2O. So once we're filled with water and we adjust our train, we'll be on our way. It should only take around 5 minutes or so. Thank you.
It's so long to refill it.
Yeah.
I wish they just get that thing working again.
I don't know if they will, honestly.
No.
I don't think so.
We can go with that.
They built like the tender, they had like
Huh?
they like rebuilt the tender, had like holes in it now.
Yeah. You still went to Hillcrest, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, it had them. That's the one that's got all the whistle knives.
To Disneyland Railroad for your safety, please remain seated, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents and guardians, please supervise your children, making sure they are completely seated either on the bench or on the lap, away from the train openings in the middle. Our next stop will be Mickey's Toontown Depot, gateway to Manitoulin.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay safe with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your them into the wildest ride Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories.
We're now arriving at Disneyland Town. As a reminder, Mickey's 2000 closed until the end of the month. The Mickey's Disneyland Railroad area is open for enjoyment. It's also going to be your stop for all Fantasyland attractions such as Small World, Dinosaur Bobsled, Peter Pan's Flight, and many, many more. If you be leaving us here, please stay seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. Thank you.
Toontown.
For your safety, please remain seated, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents and guardians, please supervise your children. You're completely seated either on the bench or on a lap, away from the train openings in the middle. Our next stop is going to be towards the future, Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below. Just a matter of forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star stations, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of the Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the October. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astro blasters, and step carefully from the train.
We're now arriving at Tomorrowland Station. If you're leaving us here, please stay seated so we can come to a full and complete stop. Once again, please do not stand up. Please remain seated so we will come to a full and complete stop. Thank you. Keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents and guardians, please supervise your children, making sure they are completely seated either on the bench or on the lap away from the train openings in the middle. Our next stop will be Main Street Station. However, we will be taking a detour into the Grand Canyon and then traveling back in time into the Primeval World. As we enter our detour up ahead, we kindly ask for the courtesy of those around you to please refrain from any flash photography, video lighting, and also turning off any toys or accessories that light up. Thank you.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tomen fotografías con
We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle tour of Disneyland. We hope you...
For now, riding back to Main Street Station, this will be your stop for the Disneyland entrance, Disney's California Adventure. Disney, the shops on Main Street are great for weekend. If you be leaving us here, please stay seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. As a heads up, this station has only stairs, no ramps, no elevators, so if you have a folded stroller or wheelchair with you, you'll want to keep it folded until you reach the bottom of the stairs. We hope you folks have a magical rest of your day. Thank you for choosing the Disneyland Railroad. We also ask that you please exit at the rear of the train. This is going to be your one and only exit at the rear of the train. Thank you.
Hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the train on time. Please remember to make sure all small guests under the age of 7 are staying away from the opening in the middle, either behind the bench or on an adult flat. Our next stop is New Orleans Square Station.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead of New Orleans Square Station.
And it also stops at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Once again, please remain fully seated to the train comes to a full and complete stop inside the station.
Just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with us. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with us. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs.
To all our friends just joining us, welcome aboard Holiday 2 on the Disneyland Railroad. At this time, we ask that you please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Supervise your children, making sure little ones are fully seated, either on a lap or on a bench, away from the train car openings. Our next stop is Toontown Depot. Once again, folks, this is a pickup trip only, meaning you will not be able to disembark at any of the stations, as we will only be picking up the last remaining guests left at each of the stations. So once again, this is a pickup trip only. Thank you.
Stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, rumored to be the location of the one and only Laughing Place. If you look real hard, you just might find it. It's where the critters are celebrating a zippity-doo-dah day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear on their fun-filled adventures.
Oh, they did close it. That shows how cold it is. Whenever you see more steam, that means it's really cold. Not like with cars. You see the exhaust come out. Let's see how packed it's gonna be.
As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost,
now they're gonna start kicking us out from here.
We're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see.
I hit my head 4 times on this thing. I don't blame you because it's pretty short. I noticed they added something like
There is the revered Indian shaman sharing his stories with those in the Great River Valley below.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're out tonight.
People like you have been riding these trails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fuels these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable. Like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. Signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop.
As we approach Mickey's Toontown Depot, we ask that you please remain seated. Once again, this is a pickup trip only, meaning we are here to pick up the last remaining guests left at the station, and then we will be on our way. So once again, friends, please remain seated. This is a pickup trip only. Thank you.
Mickey's Toontown.
Thanks for coming out to witness her grand return. So I'll see you guys around. Have a good night. Great seeing you.
Look, a small world.
To all our friends just joining us, welcome aboard Holiday 2 on the Disneyland Railroad. At this time, we ask that you please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Supervise your children, making sure little ones are fully seated, either on a lap or on a bench away from the streetcar openings. Our next stop is Tomorrowland Station. Once again, please keep in mind this is a pickup trip only. We will be picking up the last remaining guests left at each of the stations before we depart back to Main Street, where you will be asked to disembark. So once again, friends, this is a pickup trip only. Thank you.
Bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train.
As we approach the station, friends, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Once again, this this is a pickup trip only. We are here to pick up the last remaining guests up at the station, and then we will be on our way back to Main Street where you will be asked to disembark. So once again, this is a pickup trip only. Please remain seated. Thank you.
Oh, this one's gonna be a fast one.
Your attention, please. The Disneyland Limited for a complete trip around.
Alrighty folks, looks like we are on our way to Main Street, so we ask that you please stay seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Supervise your children, making sure little ones are fully seated either on a bench or on the lap of a parent or guardian away from those train car openings. Our next stop is Main Street Station, our last stop of the night. But before that, we're going to take a quick detour towards the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. So as we enter the tunnel up ahead, we ask that you please turn off all flash photography, video lighting, including any light-up accessories or toys, so as not to disturb our other passengers on board. Thank you, and enjoy the ride.
The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado, mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings.
As we approach Main Street Station, friends, we ask that you please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop inside the station. Once again, Main Street Station is our last stop of the night, so we ask that you please gather all of your belongings and watch your step once the train makes a full stop at the station before disembarking. Once again, friends, this is our last stop of the night, and another friendly reminder that this station is stairs only. There are no ramps, so if you have a stroller or wheelchair, we recommend that you keep it folded until you reach the bottom of the stairs. Once again, friends, make sure to grab all of your belongings and watch your step as you disembark onto the station.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the Primeval World.